Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here. It's been a day, man. It has been a day. Well, it's just really been a night. I just got back from my friend's house. He was, he's having a tough time. And you know what I'm discovering? Many of us are having a tough time. If you're having a tough time out there, man, reach out to somebody because somebody else is having a tough time. Alcohol is not the answer. It's just one of the multiple choice answers. It might not be the right one, but you can pick it. No, man, it's been tough all over. I'm just scratching. I'm not crying. You've heard my family's problems and my challenges as a father um, recently, but a friend of mine was having some trouble today. I was just over at his house talking to him, drinking some beers, and he's a really cool guy, really good friend, one of my best friends here in Tacoma since I moved here. Deep, long friend. It sounds vaguely sexual. Forget I said that. He's a strong friend. No, I was just chilling. But I do have to say, Trappist. If you ever get ales from the Trappist monastery, they're so good. We could not stop talking about how good this one ale was. It's without a doubt worth it as an ale. While I'm here, hey, my name's Tacoma Comics, and this is Bourbon and Bullshit. And if you're here to look at some naughty comics, that's postponed until next week. Sunflower the Blurred, Sunflower the Blackbird Nerd. I almost called her Blackbird. I told you I'm a little buzzed. Maya, she had tonight off, or she has tomorrow off, so she thought she could stay up. She thought she could stay up really late, but she realized she has tomorrow off because it is her boyfriend's birthday. Anyway, we're in the chat now, and we got a shout out, little dropper. Quincy, my friend, it is going to be weird. It's going to be a tough year for you, my friend. I hope you don't get lost. I hope that you make use of all the resources you have. You've got to reach out to your teachers to let them know that you need a little more attention, that you're not going to connect with them right away. You might need directions repeated. You might need, just a little bit more guidance to get through. You might actually find this online teaching a little bit better for you. Some of your friends, I won't mention names, some of your friends did better last year when we were remote teaching than they did in school. As a matter of fact, I think not having the distraction of students around, or not having students around to want to distract, actually helped them. So it might be the same for you. I don't know, man. It's good to see you. This is a late night show. You should be asleep. You are only a 13 or 14-year-old ninth grader, soon to be ninth grader. But it's nice to see a student drop by. You're one of the few students who follow me on this channel. I do have my Bethel SD channel, but this is a different one. So anyway, it's nice to see you. I hope you do well in GK. You can always email me. I still have the same email at bethelsd.org, so you can always email me and I can answer any questions you have, give you any help that you want. I know that your principal, Mr. Yarkowski, he was my principal for a year down at Frontier. Really nice guy, really great guy, easy to get along with, very, very smart. He should be able to help you. If you have any issues, if you have any needs, and talk to him. He's not gonna bite. He's gonna be there to help you. He's gonna be there to guide you. He's going to be there to let you get the help that you need, let you get the resources that you need. And reach out to your teachers. A lot of teachers from GK used to teach down at Frontier. It's a good place to go. This is going to be a weird year for all of us. I can't, there's no sugarcoating this. It's not like, oh, remote teaching's fine. No, you're starting high school from home. It's not fine. It is going to be difficult. It's going to be really difficult, really different, and really freaking weird. Um, just do what you can, man. Reach out for help when you can. Email your teachers early. Let your teachers, I'll tell you a secret about high school teachers, right? Not that not that they think they're better than middle school teachers, but every teacher wants to think they can do something different with a student that the previous generation couldn't. So if you let all your teachers know, hey, I didn't really do well at Frontier. I didn't feel like the teachers were reaching me. I didn't feel like the teachers had were really looking out for me. If you can say all that, your high school teachers might be like, I got this kid. I'm going to help this kid be successful. Right? We all want to help you be successful. We don't all know how to help you be successful. It's really difficult. What is that's just shining light. I thought that was something on my nose. It's just shining. Just a little bit of shininess right there. Um, I can't wait to get contacts. Anyway, that would be my suggestion to you, Quincy. Just reach out and say, hey, middle school is tough for me. I'm hoping to do better in high school. What can you guys do? I think the first thing you can do is you can go to bed because it's 10 o'clock at night and you should be sleeping because you're only a 14-year-old boy. Yeah, let's bring it back to the Bourbon and BS show that, like I said, if you were waiting for the naughty covers issue, that's going to be next Tuesday with Maya and myself. She will be showing her Faithless variants by Tula Lotte, which are of a more adult nature without irony, I guess. The criminals ones that I'm going to be doing have a little bit more irony to their uh, artistry. I've seen a few of them, to be honest with you. I've looked a few of them up and I've opened a few of them that I had doubles of. But of like the 15 issues that I have only seen 2 or 3 of them. So most of them will be a reveal for me. So that will be next Tuesday. If you're down with that. Otherwise, we are here this Tuesday with a regular episode, and I was going to go deep into the hustle, and this was also supposed to be the sweat equity episode. And I will explain to you what I mean by the sweat equity in a moment. I just got back from the house. He's a good friend. He's a good guy. He's got a tough situation right now. So like a good friend does, I reached out to him to help him. And I raced back over here after I was hanging out at his house for a couple of hours and just got back here in time to share my screen with you and show you the hustle. To the hustle. Perry, how you doing, my friend? If you're the only one in this chat, that's great. If you're not the only one in this chat, the other person in this chat, Little Dropper, is a former student of mine, which might explain why I'm being careful in this chat. But we are ready to jump into the hustle. Do the hustle. So the hustle now should be showing you my screen. We started the hustle at the beginning of August with this God Country that we bought for 30, sold as part of a larger box. The Saga that we sold, these turtles that we got pretty cheap, we sold. This Motor Girl, this Little Bird that we sold, these Civil Wars that we sold. And after 1 week, with all the shopping we did, we were down $10. And then we kind of worked the hustle a little bit. We got some more books. After 2 weeks, we were down $88 because Who Dat didn't have an auction. because of that, I decided to make my own auction on Saturday mornings called the Saturday Morning Cartoon Crew. Me and Southern Comic Geek and Adrian APM, Lady Fantastic, and Shortbox Padawan, we got together. We formed our own crew. And so after I had two auctions, Who Dat's auction and the Saturday Morning Cartoon Crew, we were up $281. And then we bought this, which should sell for like 30, 40, $50, should sell for a lot. Gotham City Sirens. Bought these, we sold these for a lot. Bought these, we sold these for a lot. We still have a lot of them though to sell. And then something special happened this week, and I will show you these. I ended up with the Platinum Edition of Superman 75. I ended up with the Harbingers 0 through 7. And so after 4 weeks, I spent a lot more money, so that balanced. But then last week on the auctions, I made about 150. It was interesting here that I made most of this money not during the auction, but in people reaching out to me after the auction was over, saying, I missed the auction, but I saw some stuff in the rewind. I'd like to buy this. So right now we have a positive balance here. Now, have I saved all this money? No, I've spent a lot of this money. I just got myself a Stephanie Hans dye coffee mug, hoodie, and t-shirt, and I've bought some comics, so that's gone down. But what's really interesting to me, and what I really want to impress upon you guys, hey, look, I come back and lots of people here. I forgot to play the hustle, dude. Perry, I'm a little bit loopy. This is bourbon and BS, right? But I had a few beers earlier. I haven't even hit my bourbon yet. I melted the ice cube though. It's been a rolling day. So where was I? I was in the hustle. Yes. Yesterday and today, I went down to this used store, Tricky's Pop Culture Emporium, where he sells a lot of secondhand pop culture items. I mean, a lot of pop culture items. You want your Battlestar Galactica, your Lost in Space memorabilia, your Harry Potter rugs, your pops, your comics, your books, your movies, your DVDs, your VHS. He's got it all. Tons of stuff. And so yesterday, I was learning the way he likes to sort his mystery packs. If you ever seen me open a mystery pack, it was from his store. And so he had a long box of like 250 Superman comics, and he was showing me how to sort them, how to put them in the bags that he likes to put in his rack for people to buy. So he had one of these. He had another of these. I opened this on air yesterday. He had this one that was out of the, and then he had these two that were, these are Adventures of Superman. These are later issues, the Resurrection of Superman. So he's telling me, oh gosh, those aren't worth anything. I don't want those. Those never sell. Those are a waste. I used to work in a comic book shop back in 1990, whatever. Made 6 million of those. They're worth nothing. Then he had this one. Platinum Edition. Now, the Platinum Edition is Superman 75, but rather than this one, it was it was a variant that was just sent out to the individual retailers. So they believe there's about 10,000 of these printed, which sounds like a lot, like a high number for comics. 6 million. This and X-Men #1, the two highest printed comics out there. 10,000, 6 million. Boom. He didn't want this. It was almost a throwaway. I took that as part of my payment for 3 hours work. So I took all of these as part of my payment for 3 hours work, which was pretty darn cool. Hey, shout out to Perry. Shout out to LBD Prophecy. So right off the bat, I have a $150 comic for 3 hours work. That platinum is hard to get. One of the other things he had that he claimed, right, and this is not a comic book shop. This is a pop culture guy. He says Valiant is really hard to sell. Like, nobody wants Valiant. Old 90s Valiant is just worthless. He's like 99% accurate. Most of old Valiant is worthless, except Valiant #1 in mint condition can be $100 comic. It can be a very, very expensive comic. It's only expensive, though, and it's only worth a lot if the coupon is intact and is inside. And the coupon for all 6 issues, 1 through 6, is intact and inside. So I've got 1 through 7 in great condition, and the coupon for 1 through 6 are inside these. Now, what did you get with that coupon? With that coupon, if you sent away the coupon from issue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you not only got issue 0, you got the pink variant for issue 0, which on itself is a $100 comic. So right there, you've got about $200 in comics right there. Add the rest of them, you've got another $50 probably. They're in great condition, but what they are worth on Key Collector app versus what somebody can pay for them is a thing. One thing we have to understand, if I was to sell this on a YouTube auction, I might get $100 for one issue instead of $145. If I was to sell it on YouTube, I might get the $145. Then I've got to pay taxes and fees, and your profit comes back down towards that $100 area. So it's not quite as much as you thought it was going to be. But still, for 3 hours work sorting comics and getting to play with comics and see how comics work, I think that was pretty nice. Now today I went back. Oh, sorry. I also got Tag and Bink. And this is not worth anything. It's like a $5 comic, but $3 comic. I've always wanted it. Episode 1, Qui-Gon Jinn, and I got it. Yay, me. Pretty happy, right? Pretty darn happy for what I got. Today I went there, and I worked for about 3 hours. Didn't quite do as well, but I found a few things. Batman versus Predator. This is a 3-issue series worth about $15, except these are the deluxe formats, almost like trade paperbacks. These are worth a bit more. So closer to $20, $25. They're actually in really nice condition. There's like no ticks, no bends, no warps. So that was pretty cool, that Batman versus Predator. He had Predator #1, but it was second print. I got this Wizard half because I collect these Wizard half issues with that really, 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 really cool Wizard certificate. So I got that. Pretty happy about that. I just threw this into the pile. Anybody know what this is? If you're going to guess, this is the first appearance of Mystery Men. Mystery Men. Which I still think is one of the greatest superhero movies and a super underrated superhero movie. First appearance of Mystery Men in Flaming Carrot 26. That's my second copy of that. That will probably be up for auction because it's my second copy. What else do I got? I'm going to do those last. I just picked up, these are like, I assume they predate. I mean, I'm almost positive they predate. I can't read. 1997. So this probably predates almost all of Hellboy. All right, but who's the artist on these? The artist on these is Mike Mignola. So I got 2 Dark Horse Zombie Worlds, issue 1 and issue 3. So unfortunately, don't have issue 2. There were some later ones but they were not Mike Mignola art, so I just grabbed these two as throw-ins. And then Tank Girl issue 2. Tank Girl issue 3. Oops, sorry. That was Tank Girl 2. Well, these are all Tank Girl 2. Issue 3 and issue 4. You also had Tank Girl 1. Now I'm interested. Was it like the Tank Girl 1? I don't think had the 2 up here. So now I'm not totally positive what it was, how it was, where it was. Tank Girl 2, number 3. I could have sworn it was actually Tank Girl 1. But anyway, he thought Tank Girl 1 was a little too much to give me for 3 hours of work. And I sort of agreed with him, but I sort of agreed that what I just got here was a little less than that. So I'm hoping to bargain for that Tank Girl number 1 tomorrow, which I got to double check that it doesn't say Tank Girl 2 now. I'm not even sure how that goes. Where's my phone? Got to look up on the phone. Did I mess up the Tank Girls? I might have messed up the Tank Girls. Ooh, I got a text. Where did I get a text from? Yeah, man. My friend that I hung out with tonight, I told you. Really cool guy and one of my closest friends. And he just texted me, said, thanks, I needed that. You know, it's really important. It's really important to be there to support your friends. I think this is a harder time on any of us than we realize and understand. And you've got to recognize that. You got to recognize how difficult COVID is to deal with on a personal level, on a familial level, on a professional level. Your fucking world is turned upside down. If it's not, and you're just flaunting it and acting like it's business as usual, you're going to die, or somebody you know is going to die, and that's on you. You know, I don't mean that gleefully. I mean that very morosely. Just finishing up this text to him. And then I'm going to go ahead and look up Tank Girl. I didn't even look that those were Tank Girl 2. I thought those are Tank Girl 1s, or first volume. Those are like second volume issues 2, 3, and 4. So I think he got the better of me today, but I think I got the better of him yesterday, and I think I got the better of him overall. So Tank Girl. Yeah, this is like the second volume, but the number 1 issue was definitely number 1. So that's really weird. Like, I didn't realize that. Those are Tank Girl Volume 2, number 2, 3, and 4. But the one left at the store was definitely Tank Girl 1, Volume 1. Oh, it's incomplete without the trading cards. I got to point that out to him too, because I did not realize that. There are trading cards that go with it. Got to get the trading cards. Anyway, I'm a little buzzed. This has been a weird show because a student showed up earlier on in the show, so I had to be like, and he was just reaching out because he wanted some, connection, and he's freaking out that school's starting. He's a high schooler and he's not prepared for it. And I totally understand that. So we're going to do another segment of the show. And like I said, this show is, it's not going according to plan, which is okay because I have 0 followers right now. Probably because I showed up late. Usually I get like 5 or 6. So anyway, we're going to do tasting notes today. So let's go ahead and share our screen. This is Bourbon and Bullshit. You know that. And so what we're looking at today, and I'm not going to take a look. I should have done this first. So first, we're drinking High West whiskey, an American Prairie bourbon. This is a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. So it's a blend of different ones, bottled by High West Distillery, Park City, Utah. Batch number 19L04, 46 proof, or 46%, which would be 91 proof. A little bit of like a drop of water in there left over from the ice cube. It's deeper than some of the bourbons I've had recently. Caramel, saltiness, vanilla, definitely vanilla. Vanilla and caramel. I'll stake my life on vanilla and caramel. Spicy aftertaste. No cinnamon. And if they want to tell me oaky aftertaste or oakiness, I'll say oakiness, but I don't believe them. I'm getting more of that fudgy caramel, vanilla for sure, and then spiciness afterwards. Let's see how pretentious this whiskey is and how clueless I am. So, the color. Sorry, I didn't go about the color. Golden amber. The smell on the nose and the aroma. You saw me smell it. I did not mention honey. I said vanilla and caramel. I did not mention rye spice. I don't even know what rye spice is. I said it was spicy, but I don't know what rye spice is. Leather. I could see leather and tobacco. Pine resin is in a whiff of peat smoke. I have never gotten such a delicate tongue as to be able to, or nose and olfactory senses, to be able to say that this was a pine resin and whiff of peat smoke. That is a bourbon too far. It's a good bourbon. I like it. Now the flavor, rye and bourbon influence at the beginning. So what they mean by that is the rye is the type of, it's not wheat, it's rye. If you ever had rye bread, you know what rye is. It's another grain. And the bourbon means that it comes from 50% corn or more. And that's the sweetness. Influence at the beginning. Smoke and peat comes later with flavors of honey, blueberries, and toffee. My friends, there is no effing honey in this. I said caramel. I guess you could say that's similar to honey. I said caramel, and vanilla. That's like toffee right there. There ain't no blueberries anywhere near this whiskey. The finish was long and not necessarily sweet. I found it more peaty and smoky, or I found it more spicy than peaty and smoky. I think that's a long shot. But you do you. Hey, I just stopped my screen share and we got 2 new followers. So please tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Tell us where you're calling from. Meanwhile, I'll tell you about this. So about 3-4 weeks ago, our longtime family dog died. And just before she died, we had gotten a new dog, just fostered a dog, and we foster failed on purpose and kept this one. This new dog is so super shy, super sweet, but super shy and a little skittish. And if I'm above her, she's just like running away, scampering away. If you get low, you go down to scratch underneath her neck, or you like lay down, she comes to you. So she likes to jump on the trampoline when the boys are playing on the trampoline. And what I ended up doing the other day is, this morning, I guess it was, is I went to the trampoline. And I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she's like, "Huh, huh." So I put my head down like this on the trampoline. I'm like, "Charlotte, come here, Charlotte." And Charlotte came over and showed me how much she loved me, which is a great deal. So actually, I guess I got two claws. I got one down here, but then I got the big one up here. This one like sliced and was bleeding a lot. So that was my that was my connection to Charlotte this morning. Still a wonderful dog. Love her to death, but she is goofy and a little, I don't want to say violent. She's just a little hyper when she's not being scared. Let's talk about people who owe me money. If you buy a comic from me, please pay so I can pay the other people who I bought comics from, and you're asking for money. I'm in the hole like $10, $15 to somebody. I don't want to send them PayPal. That's going to come out of my checking account because I'm waiting for other people to owe me money by PayPal. Anyway, read this series last night. Black Widow. This is the first Marvel Knight series. This is not the super popular one where they introduced Yelena Babova and other people. This is just a Black Widow series where it's kind of cool. She explains why she doesn't wear those like ammunition things around her wrists anymore. It's like, okay, that actually makes sense. I dig that. But this is a story that kind of just tells the history of the Red Room and tells how she triggers back on her training. So a lot of her training had actually been to make her forget what happened in the Red Room and make her forget and implant false memories. And so this is it's typical Marvel Knights. It's very much a white male's tale of what they think like a super hot superhero should be. And so there's not quite misogyny, but there's a little bit of like the male gaze in this comic. But it's not a bad tale, and it's written pretty well, and it's very tasteful art by Bill Sienkiewicz. Very nuanced art by Bill Sienkiewicz. I mean, he kills it in some of these. I don't think he's on the cover of too many, but he is definitely on Sienkiewicz. He's definitely on each issue, either interiors or covers, and so he's killing it, as you can imagine that Bill Sienkiewicz will. The other artist is Goran Parlov, and it might be an American, but Goran Parlov sounds to me like Croatian or Serbian or something like that. Could be Croatian American, obviously. Could be Serbian American, obviously. I'm just not familiar with the name. Actually, Bill Sienkiewicz, is that? I don't even know what the derivation of Sienkiewicz is. Anyway, it's a good series. I won't be keeping it past today. I will be probably packing it up to sell. It's nice. It's got a few small keys in it, and it has a lot of interesting information and point of view on the Red Room and the training that the Soviet assassins went through, and especially the revelation that they are, what's it called? That they were made to forget what they went through and had all these implanted false memories. You see these visions of Black Widow puking out of the car as like these memories are coming back to her, puking out the car window or the car door. It's kind of cool, kind of interesting. Hey, Barbarian Kung Fu said Polish. I was going to say Polish. I'm like, what does he mean Polish? Polish. So Goran Palov is a Polish name, which I did not know, or is Sienkiewicz a Polish name? Be specific, because I am drunkish and I don't know what you mean by Polish in my drunkishness. So yeah, it's a good series. It's not a great series. It's a good series. It's a little Deus Ex Machina right at the end. She like the end of issue 5. she finds out that there's a specific pheromone that one of her instructors has, designed or derivated in like into a perfume or cologne, that if the wearer is wearing it and she gets triggered by smelling it, she doesn't want to kill that person. And so, of course, Nick Fury has it on all the time. So no matter how mad she gets at Nick Fury for like stopping her, thank you, Barbarian, stopping her or getting in the way of like what she wants to do, like she won't kill Nick Fury. Just kind of goofy and silly, right? But then they switch it so like at the end of issue 6, she meets the big bad guy, and he is just attacking her, and she's like, I can't fight back. They were right. This perfume is cologne is making me weak and unable to attack, right? So then she falls down, and it's like, oh no, our heroine's gonna die. But then he kicks her in the nose, bloody nose, and she goes, now I can't smell. Right? And it's like boom, 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 boom. She fights back and she wins. And she lives to fight another day and save the day and help her friend and stop the evil plot and the CIA or the whatever private NS, security agency. It's a good read. It's not a great read. It's a good read. And that, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, my friends and neighbors, is about that. Once again, we have proven that the pretentiousness with which I pretend to enjoy my bourbon is bullshit, because I've labeled about 20% of the flavors listed on the tasting notes on some random website. We have learned that I'm spending hours of time each day working at a secondhand pop culture shop in exchange for comic books, which is kind of cool, kind of, I don't know, bizarre, kind of weird, because I have a master's degree and I'm a veteran teacher of 24 years, yet I'm working at a secondhand shop bagging comics. Just one of those steps in like the stages of life, the history of life. It'll be something to look back on. It'll be something that I get cool things like my platinum edition Superman 75 from. And it probably won't be something that I'll do much more. I'll do it. He's closed tomorrow. I'll do it Thursday and Friday this week, and then I'll be done. So we'll see what we get after 4 days of working at that place. After 4 times 3, 12 hours, we'll see if we got 12 hours worth of free comics. Yeah, that's about it, man. I am just, like I said, I was at a friend's house, consoling him, talking to him, hanging out, and had a few beers there. Drove home and had the whiskey, and I'm happy. I'm happy, but definitely, tune in next Tuesday. I know that I'll have a better show for 2 reasons. One is school is starting next week, so I won't be able to stay up late getting wasted and being like incoherent. 2 is I've got Sunflower the Blurred on, and she will be showing her Faithless erotic variants by Tula Lotte, and those are hot. I've seen one of them, and I follow Tula Lotte on Instagram, and she posts a lot of line drawings and sketches. Really good stuff. I will be showing all my sex criminal variants. My not safe for work ones. Like you can see, it's in the poly bag. I haven't opened it. I haven't opened like 80% of them. So if I haven't seen them on the internet, I haven't opened them. I don't know what most of them look like. And I've got about 20 of them, 15 or 20 of them. So that should be kind of fun. So tune in next Tuesday. It'll be a much better show than today. Like I said, today I was kind of loopy. I needed it. I needed the reprieve from the everyday monotony of existential dread, dealing with doing something I love, teaching in a format that is totally alien to me for possibly a full year. I'm not ready for it, man. I'm not ready for it. Hope you guys are doing well. If you're not doing well, reach out to somebody. Go hang with a friend. Go talk to them. Mental health issues are real. They're not to be laughed at. They're difficult, and they take a lot of professionals to deal with, and a lot of family and friends to help you with too. So if you're having issues like that, reach out. Please, please, please reach out. If you don't have friends or family to reach out to me, and I'll help you find a professional, because you can't let that shit go. You just cannot let that shit go. All right. And on that note, I'm out of here and I'm done, because I feel like I'm babbling on a little bit, and I feel like I've let some people down because this episode hasn't been as entertaining. I forgot to have the hustle music before the hustle, as Perry pointed out. But it makes me feel good, because inside I know Perry has watched this before and he's watched the hustle. So yeah, I'm out, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.